So I'm here today to speak to the Head of Student Support and Wellbeing and Deputy Director of Student Services at the University of Kent, Lee Fellows. We're going to talk about the importance of providing the right support for students, what mental health need and provision looks like in higher education at the moment, and what Kent is putting in place to support students. So, how are you, Lee?
I'm very well, Charlie. I'm really excited to be here and to talk about our provision of service in student support and wellbeing at Kent.
Great. Okay. So first of all, I'd like to talk about how long have you been head of student support and wellbeing, and what challenges have there been since you started running the service?
So I have been here for around about 8 months now. So I'm still relatively new to Kent, and I moved here from the Royal Holloway as well. So obviously over the past 8 months, I've had to get to know the team. I've had to get to know Kent, Canterbury and the Medway campuses. And I've had to kind of look at the services we provide and how they're providing the provision and the provision that we provide, and do a bit of a review of things to see where we currently are and where we need to be going for the future. I've been really amazed and pleased with the provision that we provide at Kent. That's not to say we can't do better. We can always do better. But I think we certainly provide a really comprehensive support structure for students at the university, and I'm looking forward to developing that as we go forward. The challenges that are kind of moving with any team is Kent is a really large university, and just under 20,000 students, and that means that there can be a lot of students that need our support and help, and we're working not just with the students, we're working with the school support offices, we work with our colleagues in college and community life, we work with people in the student conduct and complaints team, we're working with NHS partners like University Medical Centre and nursing services, and part of our job a lot of the time is putting all of this information together in order for us to put a good support plan in place for students. But we also respond to emergency needs for support and situations that aren't as nice as just putting together an ILP. So there are certainly a lot of challenges, but I'm really confident that the student support and wellbeing team is full of very well trained, very professional staff in their fields, and we offer a very unique and comprehensive service to our student body.
So you mentioned about some of those challenges. So what difficulties might students be facing at the moment then?
Well, students are like everyone else in the world, that we're just all sort of recovering after what's been a really difficult 2 years, where we're sort of going from lockdowns and from a change in the way we've had our education delivered to us and some of the support delivered to us in going back into what we might consider a more normal mainstream way of delivering education and delivering support. So there's that adjustment period that I think everybody's going through, and you don't just have to be a student to experience that. Staff, students, parents and carers will all be experiencing that, where there's a lot of trepidation and there's a lot of worry about the unknown. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges that students are facing. It's about how to go forward and what the new normal looks like. Other challenges are that, it's a demand to be a student. You have to manage your finances, you have to manage your academic work, you then have to manage your life outside of academics. You need to have levels of engagement, you might need to be doing volunteering, you might need a job to help support you financially. So being a student is not just one thing. It's not just the worry about your academic work. It's about bringing all of these different elements of your life together and having the perfect balance so you can manage all of them in a healthy and sensible way.
So are students able to give feedback on the service they've had, or perhaps share some experiences they've had at the uni?
Absolutely. We encourage people to get in touch with us and to let us know what our service is like. Each year we run surveys with the students that are registered with Student Support and Wellbeing, and that's a really great way for them to keep in touch with us and to let us know what we're doing right or what we're doing wrong. But also students can speak to their advisors. They can write to us as a department via email. They can give their feedback directly to me through my head of SSW at Kent kent.ac.uk email address, and we will look into any kind of issues or problems that students may have. We're always looking out for feedback, and we welcome that feedback, whether it be negative or positive. If you have positive feedback, I'd really love to hear that, because we'd really love to be able to feature it, because positive feedback is a really good way of letting other students know that our service is a good service, and that it's a service that you should access if you are experiencing emotional wellbeing issues, or if you have a particular disability that you need individual support on. So please do let us know. Likewise, with negative feedback, it means we can learn and change our service in order to give a better service going forward. So we're very open to that. One of the things that we're doing over the coming month is we're working on what's called a listening pod, and we have a number of students that are going to come and give us some feedback about mental health service provision within the university. So that's one thing that we're starting, and I can reveal on this podcast that in the next coming months we're going to be doing a university-wide survey that we hope as many students as possible can participate in, where we're asking for feedback on the services that we provide, but also on what attitudes are related to mental health and well-being across the university at different levels, at different courses. So that's going to be coming out soon, and we really do hope that lots of students will be able to give us their feedback, because that information that we have will go towards us helping to develop a mental health action plan and strategy for the future going forward.
So how would you say the university is committed to improving the mental health provision then?
So we have recently just signed up to the University Mental Health Charter, which is a student minds initiative, and it's backed by the government, and it's about putting together a charter of mental health support and well-being, and different key areas that each university needs to ensure that it's meeting certain targets in. We are one of the founding members of this, so we're going through the process of putting all of the support services that we offer around mental health and wellbeing together. And again, we're looking for students to come and assist us in this. One of the key things about the Mental Health Charter, it's not just about what student support and wellbeing will do going forward, but it's about how the university looks at and supports students' mental health and wellbeing. It's looking for a whole university approach in providing mental health provision and support and understanding and care. One of the things that we're going to be doing is putting together focus groups and action groups that are looking at individual areas within the charter. So it might be about how we incorporate wellbeing into the curriculum. What's our built environment like? Does that lend itself to good wellbeing? Do we have good policies and procedures in place that support wellbeing? So we're going to put together soon these groups, and we're very much looking for students to be participants in this, and to help us develop strategy and policy going forward, in order for us to ensure that we're putting the right provision of care in place for all our students and the wider university community. But the really important thing is, this is not just something that SSW are going to do. This is something that every department, that every professional service should have a say in. And most importantly, we want the students to have a big say in it, because they're the people that are using these services going forward.
So if a student is looking for support, how they go about getting it?
So if a student wants to contact us, they can come and drop in and see us. We're based in Keynes Building in Block H. That's where you'll find our reception, and you can come and speak to our reception staff, and you can talk about what appointment you may need. We have an email address, kentssw@kent.ac.uk, or there's Medway if you're at Medway campus. So it's Medway ssw@kent.ac.uk, and you can contact our teams there. And if you outline what support it is you need, then our reception staff will triage you effectively into the right service, whether that's disability support, whether you need a mental health advisor, whether you need to see a counsellor, whether you need to see a SPLD team, and we will book you an appointment that way. If you're concerned, or you have a really urgent need, or you're concerned, via those same addresses, you can go through a triage service where if it's necessary, we'll be able to offer you a same-day appointment with a mental health advisor as part of the triage process, and we're able to contact you there. But all the information on how to contact us is on our website, on our web pages, which I'm sure we can link to in this podcast.
Okay, so obviously we've got Mental Health Day, University Mental Health Day coming up on the 3rd of March. So what's going to be going on for that?
So we've got lots and lots of exciting plans. Firstly, we've done some filmed videos with our mental health advisors. So, and they're going to be short, sharp tips on how students can improve their mental health and well-being. So it will be on things on how to deal with exam stress, how to have a good, healthy, balanced lifestyle. So those videos our mental health advisors have put together, and it will offer some insight and some advice on how to have a good balance in your lifestyle. But also the whole of SSW team will be out and about on the 3rd of March at the Canterbury campus, which is University Mental Health Day, and on the 10th of March at the Medway campus. And we will be out and about offering plants with emergency numbers on the plant pot. So many students will know we have a crisis out of hours support line that students can call if they're in a moment crisis or they need someone to speak to, because we know that problems don't necessarily come up between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. when we're at work. So we have an agreement with a group called Spectrum, who provide out of hours emergency support, and they work with us and liaise with us. So what we've decided to do is we've got some plants, because there's an outdoor theme for University Mental Health Day, growing and nurture. And obviously I know you've just done a podcast with the Oasis Community Garden team, and they speak a lot about mental health and the importance of gardening and kind of green activities and improving mental health wellbeing. And I would recommend that to students. So we're going with this theme for University Mental Health Day, and we're going to be out and about. There'll be mental health advisors, counsellors. I'm going to be out there for a little bit as well, and we're going to be out there in places like the library, in the kind of student eateries, and we're going to be handing out these plants that you can put in your bedrooms, you can put in your sitting room at home, but also it will have kind of the emergency numbers and emergency contact support Ds you might need if you're in crisis. But it may also give you a chance, if you see us, we'll be easily identifiable. You can have a chat to us if you're concerned, if you think you might need an individual learning plan, which is what students may know as an ILP. If you think you need some help and support in terms of getting a meeting with one of our advisors, or if there's something that you're just a bit worried about and you'd like to have a chat, then come and see us and we can guide you in the right direction. We want to try and speak to as many students as we possibly can. And days like University Mental Health Day are really important days for us to get out and about and to see students outside of appointments. So please do, if you see us, come and get a plant off us. They're completely free. If you want to have a chat with us, we can certainly have that chat. We can find a space in which to talk. If not, we'll be there with notepads. We can take down names and details, and we can book an appointment with you later on with some of our advisors. So it's your opportunity to come and talk to us. It might just be you want to give us some feedback as well. So if you see us, come and chat with us, and you will get a plant.
Great. Sounds like there's a lot available then for people to do that. Is there anything else you'd like to add on, Lee, before we finish up?
I'd just like to say to all the students out there that we know that things have been really difficult over the past 2 years. There's been a whole host of change that you've had to adapt to really, really quickly. And, we want me to say to students, stop being so hard on yourselves. And realize that you've all gone through this massive change and adapted really, really well. No one expects things to go back to normal immediately, and that it's perfectly normal to have anxiety and some stresses around things. And just in general, anxiety and stress is a part of life. We want you to know that you can contact us and we will be there with support. We have disability advisors, we have mental health advisors, we have counsellors, we have academic tutors, we have all level of advisors that can help and support you. And if you have concerns, don't suffer in silence. Come and speak to us, and we can work with you in helping to empower you, to give you the tools to help resolve some issues and difficulties that you're facing. Don't be put off by things like by think you think we may not be interested, or you think your problem may be too small. It won't be. Come and speak to us, let us know, and we will work out a way of helping you. Or if we can't help you, we will certainly point you in the right direction. So as I say, we work with the primary and secondary care services in the NHS. We have links to other charities and other support organisations out in Canterbury and Medway as well that we can also get you in touch with. But most importantly, we're there to listen. We're not there to judge. We are there to offer you advice, guidance, and support. And our job is to help you get through your degree. And that's the most important thing. So don't be afraid. Don't ever think that your problem is not important enough. If it's important to you, it is important to us. Likewise, if you're concerned or worried about a friend, contact us to see if there's something that we can do. Never be afraid to speak out. That would be my message to students.
Unfortunately, that's all we have time for in this episode of Kent Voices. This podcast was brought to you by Student Services at the University of Kent. For more information, visit www.kent.ac.uk/student services.